That's true. Speaking of true, man. So we're not going to talk about Cat Williams specifically because I feel like it's beating a dead horse now. But last night, Stephen A. Smith he went off on Jason Whitlock, and Cat Williams the week before he told his truth. So my question for you guys is: every year has a theme. So is the theme for this year like we're telling the truth about things? Because we're like 12 days into the year, and I feel like on a consumer media vibe, it's like super duper high right now because everybody is either exposing people
Yep.
or telling their truth or just tired of someone saying something for years and then they finally just snap and react. So,
We see a
um,
lot.
Yeah,
my
it's
question for y'all is: do y'all have anybody you want to tell the truth about? Or are y'all good? I'm good. I don't
nah,
got
I'm
nobody.
Gucci. I'm Gucci. But one thing, like one thing that I would be mindful of too, because it's funny because we talked about this in church a lot recently, that you gotta do some self-examination because many people are out to just expose people left and right and stuff. You gotta make sure your backyard is good. Like make sure you on your P's and Q's, crossing your T's, dotting your I's, because it may come a point where somebody may try to expose you. So I definitely say you just make sure you on your P's and Q's, like you doing stuff right in your backyard before you try to even talk about anybody else. And even in that, I say just leave them be or pray for them. Either
I
or.
agree. I am more of a mind your business type of woman. I don't
People on
throw
the bus.
stone throw
Yeah.
stones in glass houses.
Mm-hmm.
I
Not
get
to say that Cat Williams is throwing stones in a glass house, but I do think there's everybody said like he wasn't lying. But just because you're not lying about something, I like Cat Williams. I'm not saying that I don't, but I do think there's a degree of messiness to going
there is. Oh yeah.
to right to there's a degree because you could have got on that show and talked about
What's been going on with you and how
I
you're
mean, in
coming
his
up.
defense, they were talking about him
Blackball him a
first.
lot. Yeah, they blackball him a lot because
well
not
was
because
Shannon. I didn't watch the interview to be honest. I've only seen the clips, but was
right.
Shannon like asking him questions about well so and so was up here and said this about you? And then he
No,
answered the
uh,
question. Or because from
no.
what I've seen, he sat down and pretty much opened the book.
From what I
It
understood,
started
like
soon as the interview started. He went in
yeah,
for like
He
half
went
an
in.
yeah,
hour.
yeah, because that's what I was told. I was told like before the interview started, he came in talking. And then
He was ready
Shannon just like,
to talk.
hold on, wait, let's record. All right, go ahead. And then he
Yeah,
Well,
he
just
went in.
told it all.
if that's therapy for Cat, that's therapy for Cat, and like I can appreciate that. I can appreciate having a conversation with someone and getting some things off of your chest that you
Yeah.
needed to. And I can even
Yes.
Mhm.
appreciate like doing that in a public setting, like doing that in a way that like other people are gonna hear it, and the people that you're talking about are definitely gonna hear it.
I like
Yeah.
that he went to the same platform that they lied on him about. That
And
was
set the
That
cool.
record straight.
Yeah, set it off.
Yeah.
I agree. I mean, I think if somebody says something about you, you definitely need to check that person. I agree. Um,
Yeah.
Yes.
I mean, cause I
Have
mean,
you? Oh,
it
good.
depends on it depends on your like your maturity level. Cause people can make all types of accusations about you and say, yeah, Cody was over here on Fremont Street, twerking and stuff like that. But I'm like, as long as the people that I know my character, know me, what people say won't don't even matter.
I don't know, bro.
you
Sometimes you
gotta
gotta
beat
go
them.
outside and punch the biggest kid in the face to let people know, don't try me,
Oh,
because
I
I'm the
think
best shit.
sometimes you gotta beat them allegations because
Yeah, that too, because that's kind of wild.
Nah, Nah, because
Your
it
boy
wouldn't.
TD Jakes allegations are insane.
Yeah,
Yeah, I
sometimes
mean,
you gotta
well,
be.
because the thing is, like, even with that, he may not have addressed it, period, like in his message, but he did tell his church because his church was talking. They was all talking about it and whatever. He did right by that because he's the under shepherd of the church, meaning he's leading that ministry. So he had a right to correct them, be like, look, regardless of what you heard, I did not do this. My
I'm
name
with
hasn't been
Cheyenne. Some
my
allegations we gotta address. I like
yeah.
you can't be
Like
saying I'm
because
a
certain
power bottom, bro.
certain stuff, you gotta use wisdom. Certain stuff you don't need to address publicly. Certain
Certain
stuff you
stuff
can
you
address
don't.
privately.
Yeah.
Certain stuff you don't. Like certain stuff is beneath you to address public.
Exactly.
But
Exactly.
I,
Some you do, like the Melissa Ford Cameron situation. Melissa Ford accused Cameron of pretty much being like a pedophile. He
Oh
Mm.
God.
addressed it. Some stuff you do gotta like
Yeah, like I think
absolutely say something
that
about.
comes for like your character,
mhm,
Yep.
like as you gotta address that because you're like, that's not who I am.
right,
Hmm.
And I'm not gonna be painted. I'm not gonna let you paint my reputation as that either. Like,
right, right. When it comes to Cat, like these guys are funny, so it's kind of like they gotta do this thing.
like they
Yeah.
all.
But I will
One up on
say
each
it
other.
speaks volumes when like Cat say that, like he said what he said, and then like the people who responded, they didn't respond funny.
No.
So it kind of like proved the point that they're not funny, like he said.
Kevin
Yeah.
Hart responded funny.
Cause
No, he
cause
didn't. He just
okay
Yeah, he
now
posted
did.
that he's doing a
okay
movie.
now when it came
No,
to Kevin,
he went on ESPN.
now
That
wait,
wasn't
look,
funny.
now look, when it came to Kevin Hart, Cat was just being a hater.
Yeah,
Maybe.
That's
they
that's
just
that,
don't.
that's
They don't
that's
like each other.
Yeah,
yeah,
that's
he just being a hater. Cause
Yeah.
what Kevin said on the Breakfast Club, he was saying that Cat didn't do right by his people. Cause regardless of his people was funny or not, if you thought they were funny enough to, you know, hold their own or whatever, put them on. You're supposed to put them on. Kevin and the people that he had under him, he put everybody on.
I don't think
Cat
he
didn't.
did.
I think
I
that's
don't think he
Kevin's
did.
opinion.
Yeah. And I don't think Kevin put his people on. Like he gave them jobs, yeah, for sure, but they're not even 10% as big as Kevin Hart is.
I think
Oh
yeah,
no,
I think that
no.
was Kevin's opinion because I think they're both gatekeepers. If we want to use the gatekeeper word, like they both
In the
are.
comedy realm, yeah, for
Yeah,
sure.
they
Yeah.
both are. But I think that there's just like a personal level of beef between the two of them that it's a little ridiculous because
It is. Cause Cat talking about some Kevin was a plant, but Kevin
I do
been in
think Kevin was a
movies.
plant.
Kevin wasn't no plant. That dude was in movies way before we even knew who he was.
I
And
think
he
he
That's
was
kind
he
of
made
plant behavior though, Cody, because how was he able to be on a soul plane if he was an unknown comedian at that time?
I
but
think it was
he was in a movie before that.
But he wasn't like
Yeah, he
he
wasn't
big.
was
known, but
he
it
was in a
like
movie like to be able to have something to show, to be able to put together a reel. And plant that's like plant stuff.
nah.
The argument is there. It's there. Like I don't. The only reason why I don't think Kevin Hart is a plant because we've seen what he did after Soul Plane flopped. Like he started doing more stand up, then he
Mm.
got hot, and then it just went from there. But the part of him getting to Soul Plane is the plant part because we're like, he wasn't during that time. He really wasn't known for like comedy at
Oh
that
yeah.
time.
I
2003,
think he was a
2004,
plant.
Kevin Hart, he only did Paper Soldiers, and that's
He
a
did.
hood
I
Yeah.
movie.
think
That's
he
it.
did Paper Soldiers, and then he got that part in that Judd Apatow. He got the 40-year-old virgin, and then I think
Oh
that's
yeah,
what
yeah.
catapulted him to the Soul Plane. But
And he
that's
got a
Yeah.
television show too. You got to
he
remember
did
that
have
as
he
well.
had a TV
Real Husbands
show.
of Hollywood, Jesus.
No, not
No,
that.
his other show
What?
in the
He
house
had
or
a
something. Heart in the house,
yes,
something like
yep.
that. Something like
Hmm?
Oh,
that.
that sounds really familiar.
Huh.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it only
but it
lasted
never got
like
picked
6
up.
episodes.
That's probably why.
Yeah,
Wow.
it did.
So the plant argument is those two things: Soul Plane and the sitcom. Like, how did you get that out of nowhere?
I think there's some plant elements to his trajectory of success for sure. But regardless, I don't think
Mhm.
anybody works harder than Kevin Hart.
Nah, not at all. He
Nah,
got a team.
Kevin. Yeah, Kevin be putting in work, especially like Daryl said. Like after Soul Plane, you see nothing but stand up. He in this
He
city. He in
did.
that
He put in
city.
work. I'm not gonna lie,
He
he did.
he
Yeah,
put in work.
I think Cat
So
put some work, and that's why I think
no,
it's
Cat put in
ridiculous.
work.
It's ridiculous for them to be
Bickering about it.
Yeah.
to not like each other. I understand not liking somebody just because you personally don't like them, but
I can't speak
Like
for
like
Cat, but
like
I
cause
think. Oh, go ahead.
oh, I would just say because regardless if you like them or not, you still give that person their flowers. Like you know what, Cat put in work. As a comedian, he paved the way for a lot of people. Cool, kudos to him. Same thing
mm,
with Kevin. Kevin did his thing. He worked hard with his stand up. Blah blah blah. Just give people their flowers and call it a
Not,
day.
I mean, not to make this like a comparison, but I think Cat and Kevin, like personal beef, it reminds me of like Nicki Minaj and Cardi B's beef. Like Nicki is like a writer, and she
Hmm.
feels some kind of way that Cardi B has a team of writers. So it's like a craft argument, I think. I don't
Mhm.
think Kevin Hart respects Kevin's craft because Cat knows that he write his jokes. And he also knows that Kevin has help. He has a team, Plastic Cup Boys. He had his ex-wife help him write jokes. So
Hmm.
to me, from the outside looking in, it feels like Cat don't respect Kevin's craft.
it's very me
Because in
Hmm.
the interview, he was bigging up other comedians that we know makes their own material.
Yeah,
mm,
But
I can see that.
all the comedians that he called out, like in a disrespectful way,
Hmm.
the internet provided receipts for every single thing he was saying. Like he said Cedric stole his joke. They did the side by
Yeah,
side. They
But
they
the thing
did.
showed Steve
about
Harvey
stealing
stealing
jokes,
stuff.
well, let me be the first to say we never really fucked with Steve Harvey.
Not
Like
really.
Not really.
Like
after that,
the only because to be honest, the only thing I messed with Steve Harvey about was his TV show and then Kings of Comedy, and that was pretty much it. Other than that,
after
That's
because he wasn't in
majority of
movies like
Steve
that.
Harvey though, Cody.
Yeah,
after
that's
it
what I'm
came
saying. That's
out, that he tried to call Ocean's 11 and take Bernie's spot.
Yeah, that is kind of wild.
Yeah, that.
After
that's
that
cold.
came out,
Mm.
and that came out what? Uh, I don't know. I think I probably knew about that.
I knew
A
that
long,
like late 2000s.
I was gonna say a long
Oh,
time
I didn't know
ago.
none of that.
After that came out, and after it came out that the reason that Steve Harvey was going last is because like Bernie was the best. All the Kings of
Oh,
Comedy
now
people.
that I knew.
After
Yeah,
all of that came out, and then on top of that, you are like on what marriage, and you writing books talking about think like a man.
I'm
You're
not
done.
gonna lie. When
You're
Kat
done.
said in the interview, Kat said in the interview that Steve Harvey thanked his previous wife to get him where he was at now. And Kat was like, "How do you thank your previous wife and your current one that thinks like a man?" That should have me rolling. I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah,
that
she think like a
wow,
man too.
Yeah,
wow,
that was funny.
And
man.
like yeah, it's been who had that song? What's Tyler the Creator's group called? Future.
Odd
They had
future.
when they had fuck Steve Harvey. They knew too. They
Dang,
knew back then.
dang,
I think they're just trolling, but
probably.
for the content, I'm gonna roll with you, Cheyenne. I
No,
agree.
I
Yeah,
think
Yeah,
they
hell yeah.
probably knew some of this.
because I mean, because shoot, the fact that with the Kings of Comedy stuff with Bernie, listen, thinking back on it now, Bernie just demolished that whole thing.
Sure
Like
did.
he just everybody cracking up, crying, laughing, but then you hear Steve Harvey, Cedric. I'm not going to even mention
Nah,
DL.
Cedric part
DL
was
just
funny.
stuck.
I ain't gonna lie.
D-
All of it was
because
funny. I think my
I
least
mean, I
favorite
mean,
Nah, I'm
is
not a
but
DL
DL.
fan.
Bernie
Me
had
either.
it though. Bernie had it like he was just like top notch. Like everybody else was, they're pretty funny. They're okay funny, but
No,
Bernie, oh
we don't
man,
play about our Bernie.
Nah,
You
I don't
know we
agree.
don't play about our Bernie Mac.
Bernie was
because
the
I mean,
funniest one for sure, but Cedric shit was funny too. I ain't gonna lie. It
yeah, it
was.
was cool.
DL Hughley? Nah, that ain't for
Nah,
me.
DL he is not funny. Period.
That ain't for me.
I don't
Not at
think
all.
DL Hughley is he's not funny to me either. Also, I think Cedric has the most ironic name in all of show business, but that's neither here nor
Why? What makes
there.
it?
Love it.
Why?
No,
Why?
Cedric the Entertainer.
It's supposed
Like,
He
to sing
entertains.
and dance
he inter-
and do all this.
Oh
how
yeah,
I don't think
he
I
don't do
don't think
none of
he's
that. He
that
don't do none of that.
entertaining.
And then you
I'm
found
not.
out you can't sing, you can't dance, you can't.
You don't look good.
He did
To
have that
me.
Oh
show. He had that Cedric the Entertainer presents show, and I remember watching that like as a kid.
man, my boy like that. I'm like, it's not even that all that funny
I
to
didn't
me.
really
I'm
enjoy
being
seeing
honest.
Cedric in a sketch, like doing sketches. So, like I said, the
I
most
mean, I like
ironic.
Cedric
And
and the Johnson Family Vacation movie.
I do
yeah,
too.
but and then what's the name? Cat was, oh my gosh, he tore Steve Harvey up talking about some, and which I found out was true, that Steve Harvey
He had a
stole the
man unit.
formula from Hanger and Mr. Cooper. I said,
We,
what?
but
And I
we
thought
Yeah,
I
I
did
was
didn't know
do
like,
that
that.
either.
Cat
he's
was
a
on there
teacher.
singing stuff we
And
do. We
I
nah,
didn't
didn't
do
know
well,
all
that.
of
I
this
didn't know
stuff.
that. I
Nah,
personally didn't know
I
that.
didn't know that.
Oh, well, are y'all comedy
I
nerds?
was
I'm
too
a little
young
bit of a
for.
comedy
I
nerd.
was too young for hanging with Mr. Cooper. Like that
I
was
was too
like
young
I
to
was
even
you
know
too
what's going
young, and I
on.
watched Hanging with Mr. Cooper.
I didn't watch it.
It had
No, I
Holly
watched like
Robinson
maybe one or two
Peete.
episodes.
It had what was that other lady's name from uh A Different World? Dawn Lewis.
I never watched it.
I watched Hanging with Mr. Cooper.
Like I heard of it, but I never
It had
watched
Raven
it.
in it. Didn't it have Raven? Raven too?
Yeah,
Hold
yeah,
on,
Yeah.
let me
she was
see.
there.
Oh
She was
yeah.
right there.
I
Yeah, it was on
watched
for
it. I
like 5 years.
remember watching it.
Yeah, Raven Simone. It had Omar Gooden, Neil Carter, Don Lewis, Holly
Dawn Lewis,
Robertson Pete.
Holly Robinson Pete.
Mhm.
You know, they had Don Cheadle was on there. Oh, okay, interesting.
I remember that. That was like the era when I was watching In the House with LL Cool J. You remember that
See,
show?
I never watched that either, but I knew what it
Never
was
mind.
though.
And
Mm-mm.
Fresh Prince was on, and
Fresh Prince.
this was like very early 90s. Very early 90s. Like maybe 95,
Oh yeah, yeah. Fresh
94.
Prince. That was the hit right there.
I was always ahead of my time when it came to watching TV.
I was more of a Martin guy. I ain't gonna lie.
Yeah, I liked Martin too. But I watched what my parents watched. So, like, my parents wasn't, you know the meme that's like, I'm not no Coco Melon period. You go and watch Paid in Full. My parents was like that too.
That's
Lord,
crazy to watch Paid in Full. You
Lord.
like 8 years old.
That's my
Oh
parents was like
God.
that too. We're not watching no damn SpongeBob. Give me that remote.
Ha! Come on,
That's what my
SpongeBob.
parents was.
Nah, we watched SpongeBob.
We
SpongeBob
would watch
was
SpongeBob.
like
Early
That was
SpongeBob was fire.
early SpongeBob was funny as hell.
yeah. My dad would watch Rugrats and Hey Arnold with us, but some
Oh
of the
yeah.
stuff was too goofy. Like some of the stuff he was like, I'm not watching this.
It's like
Yeah,
He
some
said
of
the
it he
crusty
was
crab
like,
pizza. Pizza for
some of them
you and me.
cartoons. Like Ren and Stimpy, my dad would be like, nah, y'all gotta turn this off.
Ren and Stimpy was
Ren
a
and Stimpy
grown folks
was
cartoon.
that
kind of
was.
flagrant.
It,
It was goofy. Like it was silly. And my
but
dad
sir,
would be
but
like,
they, I didn't know they had so many adult innuendos in there until later. I seen the video. I said, "Oh, that
That's
was
what
in
they
there." Ooh, I didn't know that.
Yeah.
I think we strayed from our question of what is the theme of this year. I think
I
it's too early to tell.
I think this year is standing on business. That's what I think.
I think that was last year's theme was standing on business.
Well, this standing on business part two because
Right,
Stephen
part
A.
two.
Smith called
Exposed
Jason
people.
Whitlock a fat bitch yesterday. That
I
shit had me
don't even
fucking
Damn.
know.
crying.
I don't know the context of their beef.
The context is Jason Whitlock saw Katt Williams and said, bet. So he called Stephen A. Smith a plant, whole bunch of shit. And then Stephen A. was like, all right, I'm going to respond today because I need some ratings. And then he
Oh, he
went in.
said that
Yes.
about Uncle Stephen A.
He did. He called him a plant. And you know damn well Stephen A. is not no damn plant.
No, Stephen A. may be a lot of things.
He ain't no plant.
Y'all know I don't play about Uncle
Yeah.
Stephen A.
Yeah, he a lot of things. He ain't no plant. So
He might be a lot of things.
Stephen A. went on his podcast. He called Jason Whitlock a fat bitch, which I wish we had the audio because that shit is funny. He
Damn.
called him a fat piece of shit. Like, he went in, bro. That was crazy.
Well, I mean,
He went
yeah.
in for a good hour.
One thing about Stephen A. He is corny, but he's a corny legend. Okay, make sure the
He's
legend.
elite. Stephen A. is elite corny.
He's elite corny, but make sure you say that elite though.
No, he elite.
Make
Like, he one
sure
of the
he is
best.
corny. He
Nah,
is
he one of the
corny,
best.
but put
But
some
he knows how to
respect on
get...
it.
Exactly. He knows how
Put
to
some
get people to
respect
tune
on it.
in.
That's my uncle, and I won't let nobody come for Stephen A.
Nah, Stephen A's elite. So yeah, to put a bow on this, 2024 could be Stand on Business Year Part 2. It could be The Reckoning. A lot of people have been calling 2024 The Reckoning because
I
everybody is
think
addressing things and letting it
The
be
year of
known.
exposure.
I think
The
it's
year of
just have your
exposure.
receipts. The year of receipts.
I like that. 2024 is the year of receipts because you got Kat, you got Stephen A, you got the Epstein list that's about to drop soon. That's a lot of
Yeah,
receipts on there.
I think
You
it's
Jesus.
keep
got
your receipts.
yes, keep your receipts here.
I think that's what this.
Put your problems in the cart and bring your receipt.
I think
For
it is
real.
a receipt year because I won't say it's a year of truth because
But nobody lying yet. That's the crazy part. Ain't nobody lying.
yeah, but I think truth is that's too big of a theme.
But truth hurts, and a lot of these people are hurt when they respond. Like, why is Cedric saying it's blog information when we saw the video you stealing a nigga joke? Like, that's not blog material, my guy.
I think if Cedric had got out in front of it and said he was influenced by Katt's joke,
Yeah, then I would have been like, okay.
But the context is he stole the joke, apologized, gave him an award, and then turned around 10 years later and say, I never stole the joke. Would you admit it that you stole it? That's crazy.
I think but I think in comedy it's so, especially, I think it's so easy to be influenced by each other's jokes, and I think there's ego involved.
A lot of ego.
A lot. A whole lot. Pride and everything.
Yes.
Had he just jumped out ahead and said, yeah, I was influenced by that joke, and like Katt's great, and it's easy to be influenced by great comedians, blah blah blah. If he had
That's what he should have said. But
that's what he should have said.
If he had a PR team on it, then Seth would still be in the good graces.
The only person who hasn't responded yet is Steve Harvey. That's the only one.
Right.
Well, everybody else responded.
What did he call it? A fat face online? Why would he say
that? Is
oh my god!
hell. I've been saying that all week.
Man,
that's a fat face online.
Why did he say that?
Because that's true. That's funny.
Not a fat face online.
Yes, that's a fat face
online. Fat face online.
That's
my lord.
Because when you think about it, that's a real big ass lie. Like, you really lying.
Why are you lying?
Yeah.
Why you always lying?
That is a lie. That's a lie.
I always lie.
I ain't lying, but
it's crazy.